And how difficult is it to battle back like that, what you guys did, and then fall short of football?
I don't think we look at it as difficult. Maybe we'll take the lead late. Just a couple plays didn't go our way. And that's just the way it is.
Like I said, you felt like this more slow to warm up to this game. Why do you feel you guys got the job to quick start?
Defensively, I thought, we got some 3 and outs early on, but trading back and forth. Game became a game of field position. I think, a couple times we just didn't capitalize on it, or, we didn't get off the field in time. So, I think you're going 10-3 at half, get off the field with a fumble, get them the ball, but it's just, hit or miss on a bunch of plays today.
How do you view the game? Do you feel like you kind of, after what you did the last 2 games, you kind of gave one back?
Missed opportunities. We have to eat it. They made more plays at the end. Some of that stuff we could have, some head scratching about what was displayed, but man, just take it, move on. I know everybody's pretty pissed off about the loss, but we got to learn from it and be better next time.
And how much confusion was there on that penalty that looked like it was intentional grounding and ended up being an illegal touch?
Well, I thought there was a holding too. So, because I was wrapped around my waist, but yet there was no call.
Might be a fine.
So I don't know what we were, confused about, but, I know Mike T was communicating. Then they said we were not taking the penalty, and then we were like, Mike T wants the penalty, and so we were just waiting for them to get it right.
Do you think it had any impact on the next play, Cam?
No.
It was the first time you guys have had adversity in about a month.
Wait, we just had adversity last week. We just beat Baltimore Ravens. There's adversity every game. We just didn't win through the adversity. I think, you can learn from wins, you can learn from losses. Adversity was displayed on both sides. Adversity was displayed almost every week, but we just didn't make the critical plays when we needed to.
Does the loss hit you differently? You have to how we respond to that.
No.
I'd be interested.
Doesn't change the way we prepare. If you're not learning from your wins, you're only learning from your losses, shame on you. I think, you can be humbled in every game, but, you try to learn something from every game.
What effect do you think the snow had? What effect do you think the snow had?
It was, it was a whiteout for the most part, but, if I said it affected us, it's got to affect them too. So I don't think that really played a part.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep.
Russell in here momentarily. Russell?
Russ, were you surprised you weren't
I like
in
the
there on
jacket.
3rd and 6 at the end of the game there when you got a chance to run out the clock?
I think that we all,
Very
as a
nice
team,
jacket.
we're trying to make plays, we're trying to do different things. Obviously, we have trust in Justin too, and what he can do and what he's capable of, and everybody. Listen, I always want to be in there. That's just the competitor in me. But at the same time, I think that, like I said, we have great trust in Justin and our team and our coaches and everything we were doing. So we should have won that game. We felt like we battled, we fought our butts off, and it was a tough environment. Obviously, we wanted to win this one, but unfortunately, we came up short.
Russ, was it something they were doing in the first half that made their pass rush so effective?
They just made a few plays. They obviously, Miles made a few plays, different things they did well. But we moved the ball, in different moments, but we got to stay consistent. And we had a couple penalties, a couple things that happened. And we stayed the course. We knew it was going to be a battle, especially with the weather and everything else going on. We just knew it was going to be a game that was probably going to come down to the wire. And we liked those moments, and we just had to stay the course, and we answered when we needed to. Obviously, late in the game there, what we answered in the fourth quarter was pretty special, and I think that was key. We thought we had a chance at the end, too.
You guys had gone 7 quarters without scoring, and all of a sudden in 6 minutes you scored 2 touchdowns. What was the difference there, and how do you keep that kind of a spark going throughout the course of the
Well, we had some really good explosive plays down the field, throwing the ball with Van, and he made some great catches. Calvin, different things that happened, and then we got stalled for whatever reason. So we got to watch the film and see what that was. But, I thought that the guys, the receivers, did a really good job of making plays tonight, and tough, weather conditions and everything else. We were able to throw the ball down the field and make plays in the key moments, and I think that was really good. At the same time, though, we needed one or two more plays. I thought our defense, played hard. We all played hard across the board. When we got that interception at the end, I was like, okay, let's close it out. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do that.
Pretty good pass to Cal over the middle. Just what did you see on those two?
He just did a great job of getting open. I thought our line did a really good job on that, protecting. So I could get enough time to get the ball down the field on that to Calvin. He did a great job of just really making that play. And then I think the one for the touchdown, I knew how to get the ball off. They were about to hit me here, and I just had to let it go down the middle to Calvin. He did a great job and just kind of threw it right before he just anticipated where he was going to be. He made a heck of a catch, heck of a route, and that was awesome.
How much are you able to anticipate when Justin might be coming in? Does it disrupt the rhythm and flow for you guys at all?
Anticipation of it, I don't know when it's going to happen. Obviously, we have different, tags and everything else, but I don't necessarily know when it's going to happen. But, whenever it does, all I want us to do is win. That's all I care about is, whatever it takes for us to win. And obviously, when Justin gets in there, I'm rooting for him to do great, and make a big play or whatever it may be. And then when I go back in there, vice versa, we're always rooting for each other. So there's not, I don't think about it that way. I just, in terms of like when it's going to happen, based on your question, I don't necessarily know to answer your question.
The 2-point play, throwing the one-on-one ball to Cordero, it's kind of an unorthodox play for you guys. We haven't seen it in game. You practice it much, and what's kind of the, what went wrong on that one for you guys?
We almost had it. We had a shot at it. It was, obviously CP's Hall of Fame player. He's played receiver, he's played running, he can do everything. He caught a sweet one in practice, 2 days before, in the back corner, just like that. Almost had it. It was contested. We knew that was going to be a contested play. We got to find somebody to get it up to and give him a chance. And unfortunately, we didn't come down with it.
This being a tough loss to a division team, you being the captain, just to make sure this doesn't linger into next week and into Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that in any moment, we got a lot of football left. We got a lot of opportunity to respond in the highest way, highest level. I think that everything that we want is still in front of us, and we got to be able to refresh. After this weekend, after these Thursday night games, you just played a tough game on Sunday, and you come back and have another Thursday night game, and or a Thursday night game. It's it's a lot of games in a short amount of days, and I think we got to let our bodies recover, reset mentally, and then come back and push for the stretch. And that's going to be the great part of it, because we got the guys to do it. The great thing about this team is we got the guys to do it. We got the mentality to do it. We got the edge to do it. We got the response to do it. I think we showed that in the fourth quarter. The juice, the energy that we brought when it mattered most. And like I said, it's in this game of football, it's every game is not gonna go exactly your way, but as long as we give ourselves the best chance to do that and fight for that every day, and I think we did that tonight.
You had to wait a long time to get introduced to the AFC North. What's it been like the first 2 weeks, and how much is it going to be intensified given what's coming and with the Hard Knocks cameras and everything following as well?
Listen, it's ball. To me, I've lived a lot of ball in my lifetime. I don't, it's not necessarily the division, it's the moment. It's the team, our team that we have right here. And I think the most important thing is just, for us to focus on each other. The great thing about us is that we're not going to change. We're not going to change our thought process and how we work. We work as hard as anybody could possibly work in the National Football League. I think we do a great job of that. We've got great leadership. We've got great guys. We've got great competitors. And we don't blink in the midst of the moments. And so I think this is it's going to be a great story to tell, and we're looking forward to that.
Russell, while you are new to the AFC North, and this is a defense that you played last year, and while that was last year, were there any visible tweaks or adjustments you feel they made within terms of defending you tonight?
I played them last year, obviously. We won last year, and it was a good game back and forth. I think this time they they didn't anticipated what they were going to do for the most part, in terms of all the multiplicity of coverages. Jim Schwartz he's a great defensive coordinator. He's got a lot of different coverages. They're a veteran group. They were one of the top defenses last year. They do a lot of things really well, and I think the biggest thing for us is just, I think we're a group that's, continuing to grow every day. That's the good part. We're growing, we're learning. Like I said to you guys, the best part about tonight was we didn't flinch in the midst of the moments. I thought how we answered, and I thought how Calvin made the big touchdown, to take the lead at those moments. Those are special moments, and when the defense got the turnover and got the interception, and said, okay, let's go win it. And so I think for us it's just being able to respond to each play, each moment, and understanding that.
Couple more here.
Mike said you guys might have gotten off to a slow start tonight, and just in terms of getting going, do you guys feel like you got off to a slow start and that might have contributed to the early sacks and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that we always can start faster. You want to score every possession. I mean, that's the if that's the magic of it. If we can score every possession, that's not realistic most of the time. Against a really good defense. That defense is real. Over there, they do really good things, and so. I thought that we had some opportunities. I thought like I said, we had some explosive plays down the field, and once we have those explosive plays, we got to make sure we get touchdowns after that. And so, we'll learn, we'll study, we'll figure out what we can do better, and there's more there, and that's the good thing is that we're going to search for that every day. We're not going to blink on that, and I love this football team. This is the right guys, the right energy, man. This is the right response. We are disappointed. But we're not discouraged. We're not flinching in the midst of it, and so we'll respond the right way.
Last one. Aren't you ever playing this type of stuff?
Yeah, I've played in some bad weather before.
You played in Seattle and Denver and Wisconsin in college.
We played Kansas City last year, beat Kansas City, and it was snowing pretty good. And, so I like it when it's some adversity. I love the adversity of it all. So. It's football, I grew up playing late at night, playing in snowstorms like that in Virginia sometimes, and different things. So, as you're a young kid, you embrace those moments. You watch it on TV growing up. You love those moments, and so I thought that was cool.
All right.
Thank you guys. Yep, appreciate you guys.
That was kind of a dumb question. Where this man went to college as. At first, NC State. But Wisconsin got drafted to the Seattle Seahawks, right? Then went to the Denver Broncos. Have you ever played in snow? Yeah. Dude's 12 years in, 13 years in. That was kind of a dumb question to me. And Russell, he's so polite about it. And no, you can't act like, what a stupid fucking question. No, you obviously can't do that. I gotta figure out where Russ got that jacket from. That's a nice jacket. The one thing about that is I would almost prefer the L to be on the other side, and then the button set up or the click in whatever to hold it shut to be reversed, so that way Russell's right goes over the left, because the way that jacket was the left goes over the right, and by the time you get it all situated, the L would be right by the two E's. I just want it the other way. The L over by the two E's, and then it overlaps, and then you get Steel City. But that's a nice jacket, though. But back to the actual press conferences here. I'll take these off before we go into the around the locker room player stuff. So just going into what Cam and Russ said about it. Yes, if the snow affected the Steelers, it would have affected the Browns as well. And with Russ, the offense, did start off a little slow. You want to score, not just score, but score touchdowns every single drive. But that's not realistic. You can't be the Bills versus the Patriots in that one playoff game, where I think the Bills on 7 possessions scored 7 touchdowns. You're not going to get that. Hardly ever. But yeah, you want to consistently score whatever it is. A mix of field goals and touchdowns. And as far as Justin coming in, I don't think it really disrupts anything. There's always the possibility, I think it happened early in the game, of because it's Justin now and it's a slightly different cadence, different voice. You might get a false start every now and then. I think we did get a false start or two when Justin was in there. But we also have false starts when Russ was in there. So I really don't think it severely hurts it to a degree where you don't want to do it anymore. But you do have to be smart about when you do it. And then trying to just recall what everything was said between Cam and Russ. And Cam was absolutely right. You basically face adversity every single game, win or lose. There's something that went wrong. And the defense has to make a stop, or the offense has to go score, or, you have to do something. You have to make this pass. You have to break up this pass. You have to get this sack. You have to, do something. Excuse me. You have to do something because it's not going to be that Bills-Patriots playoff game. It's not going to be the Detroit Lions, who have beaten, I think, 3 people by 38 points or more this year. I think. I think that's the stat I saw. It's not that. You're very seldom going to have those. The Detroit Lions right now are just another beast in themselves. There's adversity every single game. But you really only talk about the adversity in a loss. Where you have, say, last week, 6 field goals, and they had to stop Baltimore. Okay, they didn't stop Baltimore. Well, now you got to stop the 2-point. Okay, you stopped the 2-point, but they still had all 3 of their timeouts, so Pittsburgh needs to get that first down. That's all adversity. They just happened to overcome the adversity in that game. Russ threw a pick. Okay, now Baltimore has the ball, and if they go down the field and score a touchdown, they're going to take the lead. Okay, now we stop them. Now we kick a field goal. That's all adversity. So it's just, it only gets brought up in a loss. But Cam is absolutely right there. Absolutely right. And I don't know why Russ was dressed for this one in the past, I think maybe 2 or 3. He's still been in his gear. So I don't know if this was a longer time past, or if I couldn't tell you why he was in street clothes for this, and in previous ones he was still in uniform. It's possible for those he was doing post-game interviews because they won, and then he's late getting in, so then he has to do the press conference in his gear. That's always a possibility. So let's head over to inside the locker room and see what a few of the players had to say.
Very deflating. I mean, we need to close out games. We weren't able to do that tonight, and the result was a loss.
I know it wasn't your call, but what was the advantage of making it a 3rd and 7 instead of a 4th and 2 there late?
That's not, obviously that's above my pay grade. We just try to play when the ball snapped and make plays, and we didn't make enough tonight.
The play before the touchdown run at the end there, did you guys think about letting them score? I know it looked like you were trying to punch it out. What kind of goes through your mind in those situational moments?
Oh, we're just trying to get the ball out, trying to punch at it, get an opportunity to get the ball back in our hands.
Was it kind of either get that punch out or try to let him go in? Did he go down?
We were trying to get the ball out.
TJ, what did they do to sustain drives so frequently throughout this game?
They were able to convert when they needed to, just make plays in big-time moments, and we weren't able to.
How deflating is a loss like this? Because it was such a roller coaster kind of ride.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. You always want to beat a rival, especially on the road. Yeah, it sucks. You always want to win games, man. Yeah, when it happened like that, it's just all the more worse. But yeah, just got to pack it up and keep going. We'll see them in a couple weeks.
This is one of the times you have to have a kind of a short-term memory and look ahead, which you kind of the gauntlet of games you have coming up.
Yeah, when you lose a draw, you always want to look forward to the next challenge. Like I said, man, hats off to those guys. Those guys came out from start to finish, and it was firing on all cylinders. Made plays when it counted and when it mattered, and we just got to be better at the end, close the game out.
Kind of had this game won. Why do you think it kind of went away from you guys?
Like I said, man, they just, when it came down to the end of the game, they just made more plays than us. They executed on a better level than us. They were able to put the ball in the touchdown. So we just got to take a look at the film and see what we can do to get better.
I know every loss stinks, but how deflating is a loss like this when you think you haven't won? It was kind of a roller coaster ride there at the end.
I mean, it's the NFL. Like, you never have the game won until there's zeros on the clock. So like I said, we're going to come out and fight. Every second, every blade of grass, we're going to fight.
Is this one of those games you really have to have short-term memory and just kind of turn things around, especially with the games coming up here?
Yeah, I think any game, you got to have short-term memory, regardless of who it is, or win or loss.
For you this time around, how did that feel, and just how did you feel that was working out for you?
Felt good. I was glad I was able to, get a chance to help my team.
On the 3rd and 6 call, was George your first read there?
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of pick a side. I chose to go. It's a GP, he's a top 5 receiver in the league, one-on-one. He's made a lot of plays. Go Balls, but yeah.
It seemed like there was some confusion. The one play, you guys maybe got it in a little bit late. Was that part of you coming in?
The first one?
I think it was the first one was a false start, and then the second one you barely got the snap
right? It was a 4th down, yeah. I think Zach was going off the field. Zach and a few other O-linemen were going off the field, so I don't know if there was a communication where they thought that we were going to punt or what, but yeah.
Is there something?
Do you feel like that affected the play?
Not really. I feel like we, got the play call in when we were in the huddle and, got the ball snapped in time, so not really.
Okay. So I guess it's, pretty standard stuff with all the players. Where it's gotta do better, watch the film, try to improve. How, losing to a divisional opponent can hurt more than a normal loss. But, you're looking at a team that beat Baltimore and Pittsburgh, the top 2 teams in the AFC North right now. But and with Watt, that's above his pay grade. It doesn't really matter what he thinks they should do. That's a coaching decision. And that's really it. Not much to really take from this little short video here from these players. And it does feel like there was some stuff that was cut out, because in Herbig's it was someone asked a question. He was like, well, again, and it's like, okay, how long were you answering questions? So I'm sure stuff gets cut. Though it probably would have been nice to have that little bit of context, but so that is it for the player press conferences. If you guys did enjoy this, please do leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, and I will see all you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.